Okay, so we're leaving my favorite cafe, La Ventana, which is just in there, and we are going to head down to Sheikh Isa bin Ali's house because Julie, our new friend and visitor from another country, has not been there, so we're all going to explore it together. Something that you can see which is probably different from the last time you've seen anything is the fact that there's blue sky and greenery, which is very, very exciting. And straight ahead you can see, well, a car, but also the cool roundabout, the windmill kind of building hiding behind the palace over there. And there is the old palace. So we're going to drive down here now, and also just over to my left there you can see the Grand Mosque. Okay, so just over here we have the Grand Mosque, which is one of the biggest mosques on the island, and it seats about 6,000 people, I think, at any one time. And it's the place where you'll hear the biggest call to prayer from. And straight ahead, as Julie kind of zooms through there, is an area called Jaffa, which is, it's kind of one of the most western areas on the island as well. It's where a lot of the Americans live. The American naval base is down there, and it's kind of like a really weird version of Vegas. It just kind of reminds me of Vegas. Yeah, just all the kind of glitzy lights and tackiness and all of that kind of stuff. It's all just down there.
The Grand Mosque, so we drive past.
I can't believe how much greenery there is out at the moment. And blue sky. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's got to be the best thing about winter, other than the beautiful temperatures where you can walk around outside and not feel like you're in a sauna. But blue sky and greenery, it's just amazing how much you forget that they're there. But the thing about the island is that it's actually lots of little islands. So we're driving over one of the bridges at the moment, and you can see that we're heading to another separate island. And just look at the colour of the water. I don't know how well it comes through on film, but it is just so unbelievably beautiful, turquoise clear. I want to swim in it all the time, and then you realise, no, actually, it's full of pollution. And there are flowers this time of year. There's flowers and greenery. Mum, you would be so happy. I have absolutely no idea what those flowers are called, but they're red and white, which is the colour of the island flag. So Maharat Kareli is one of the older areas of town. It's got a lot more locals in it, and generally I think a slightly poorer area, so everything's a little bit more run down. All of the streets are closer together, a little bit dirtier, a little bit more kind of, you know, people on the side streets just watching the world go by. Okay, so we're coming back from Sheikh Isa's house, and I'll put some photos in so you can see, and just heading back into the main city part of Manama. So I thought we'd do some filming in there so you can get a look at what the financial district looks like. So as you can see, it's kind of not as well laid out with town planning. There's lots of construction still happening, and then we're going to hit the main part of the city in about 2 minutes. Just as we're stopped at the lights, I thought I would tell you that some of you have heard me talk about my beloved Jeep that I just adore. So this is it, which, you know, completely spoilt to be able to drive. But Julie was just saying, if you look straight ahead, there's just one of the many Hummers that you always see here. The amount of cars and the wealth of the cars that are driven is just unbelievable. There are Hummers everywhere. Last time I pulled out to one of my favourite cafes, the car park was full of Porsches and Lamborghinis and Bentleys and all sorts of ridiculous things. It's kind of crazy. But as we're driving, you can see we're kind of in peak hour traffic. It's around about 4:30 in the afternoon. But we're heading up to some of the main financial buildings. So peak hour and the daily commute, ladies walking home from work, get in the car and face the traffic to go home, just like every other Western country. So you can see a lot of the city still kind of relies on water and boats and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of fishing kind of things that still keep going on down here, and this whole area is just still under construction. It's all reclaimed land. They're just building on top of with new apartments and new construction areas and all of that kind of thing. And then as we come around this sweep, you'll see one of the places that are most existent in my life, and that's City Centre Mall. So massive mall, which is like 3 times the size of Chatswood Chase for people who go there. And then we're going to come around on the main road and come up to one of the island's most known roundabouts or landmarks. This is the Pearl Roundabout, which I have to say, the first few times, no, actually let's face it, the first few months when I was driving around here, driving around this roundabout, it freaked me out. I hated it because it's just, there's usually traffic everywhere and it's just a little bit chaotic, but it's actually, you know, it grows on you. Now you just see the beautiful Pearl kind of sitting there proud in the centre, the heritage of the island. So Julie, you're just visiting for a few days. What are a couple of things that you have noticed most about the island that kind of surprised you?
That women are driving, and that I don't know. Just the amount of traffic and the buildings. I think I've been surprised at the big high-rise buildings and how fancy and smancy they are.
Is it, so it's much more developed than what you were expecting?
It's just more modern than I was expecting.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just driving onto our block now, so I thought I'd kind of show you my surrounding areas. Lots of speed bumps which are never marked, so you have to learn where they are so you don't hit them ridiculously hard. I don't understand this whole big empty lot thing that happens a lot around here, and men wheeling gas barrels around the road, but that happens kind of quite a lot, just big dirt spaces. And now I'm just going to turn to the last block. So these are my neighbours' houses, you can see them. And the sunlight is going to be right in the camera lens, but that's okay. And this, for those who have heard me complain about a dirt lot car park covered in mud over the last few days, this is it. That's our apartment building straight up there. We're on the 2nd floor. Julie, I'm not sure if you can stand in on the nice man with the machine gun who's always there waiting to greet us as he guards the Palestinian consulate. But as they say, this is home sweet home. So welcome to our neighbourhood. And for those who heard me complaining on Facebook about kids playing basketball under my window, this was them. As sweet and as lovely as they are, I don't want them playing basketball under my window at 10:30 at night. So we're going up to the apartment into the elevator with doors of death because it'll just, you know, crush you in there. It would help if I hit the elevator floor that we're going to. They start really quickly.
Oh, that was scary.
Yeah, so welcome to our apartment, which just beautifully got cleaned today by our lovely housekeeper, Money. Come on in. This is our lounge room. And the two other most important places in here. Oh, watch the door, doesn't he? So this is my room. It's a little bit, you know, kind of, I've got stuff everywhere at the moment. But, so this is my room, and this is the view that I kind of get to look out on. Again, lots of beige, and you can see those kids playing their flipping basketball till all hours of the morning. That's our car park. Oh, that's our watchman. That's the nice man who kind of takes care of our building and washes my car. He's lovely. Nepalese. I think he speaks 5 words of English. So there's that. And then we have a kitchen as well, which I think one of the most exciting things about the kitchen at the moment is the fact that for my birthday, some lovely, lovely people bought me pot plants, which is just quite rare and very exciting. And thanks to Maddie, our housekeeper, they're still alive because she waters them. I don't really know how to. So